security capabilities to isolate. Now, keep in mind, as long as you maintain security for the users at the app layer, you're in good shape.
Okay.
But even if you don't, let's say you have a separate PHP server installed for each different doctor, even in that case, you can still share the database platform by pointing them to a different, what we call pluggable database. They, in the same environment, same VM, same database. So there's multiple ways to implement this multi-tenancy. They don't all need to be residing in the same database, but they could all share a database container. So
otherwise, you will end up managing thousands of databases. And
it would be too much. Pricing perspective. So you have this database right here. We can create what we call a container. This is 12C. It comes in the cloud, and within that 12C, you can have pluggable databases. And from the app side, you log in to the appropriate. There'll be one here. There'll be PHP App Server 1. There'll be 2 here. DPH database for it, but then they share the same container. So when you patch this database, you really patch the whole population of users. Or when you implement a security patch, or when you encrypt it, you run that command once. When you upgrade it to 13C or whatever, then it'll be one upgrade as opposed to 2,000 times that your
You want to talk about DR also, because that's an important functionality.
Then you go to disaster recovery. You back up that database as one system. So all the administration tasks are done once. And this is data guard. But then at the same time, you can recover only one database at a time if you have a failure for a particular client. So you have the flexibility. So even though it kind of ships everything here and you have one prime, two prime, right? You still have the ability to bring up and recover one database at a time if you have a corruption or something failure for. So it brings the best of both worlds. From the application side, you have total isolation. Better perhaps isolation than what you guys have put even into this, because right now you have the ability to share everything, right? You can put everybody into the same table, even from what I'm understanding, right?
So there are different tables for patients. So we have maintained the HIPAA regulations. So patient data is stored in a different table. Patient identity is stored in a different table. All those things are separate.
But those patients and the doctors, those tables are...
Doctors is a separate table. Patient is a separate table.
Okay. But
so at a database level, our design keeps HIPAA compliance.
At the application, when you go to that table, show me only my patients as a doctor.
Yeah,
but that same table in the database has patients from another doctor.
Correct.
Right?
That's
so
right.
it's truly multi-tenant.
Yes.
Even though you separate the schemas,
correct,
it's truly multi-tenant.
Correct.
And if you wanted to deploy it like that, you could. Yeah. You don't have to separate, right?
Yeah.
What we're saying is that if there's any concern with that architecture being a little bit too mingled together in the same table for all patients, right? If there is, I recommend having multiple options. For a large hospital, maybe implement further separation. For the very small doctor practices, you're talking about maybe 2 doctors, and maybe you can group those together.
In India, the health laws are not clearly defined. So in a large hospital, this is so far we are not targeting any hospital more than 100 beds.
Yeah.
Because it's the laws change for every single customer. For a large hospital, what we are thinking is a separate version of this, which will be for more enterprise, will be that they will be able to, when they set up their XYZ apollo.nymdx.com, they click hit, create the clinic or create the hospital, then they get a link to install database on their on-premise.
I see.
We don't want them in the cloud.
Interesting. Okay.
Because so when they do that, we get the location from there, and the database goes into that schema where we have remote.
And you're okay with that? With that architecture?
With architecture for large hospitals, okay, because the risk is very high. Over there, the laws, any hospital more than 100 beds, it has to comply. They call it the state health registry.
Okay, well,
it has to be a lot of legal rules.
So from a user perspective, all the screens that the doctor will be using are dependent on that connection.
So we are putting some. So in India, most of the places they have optic fiber now. Most of the cities are optic fiber. So speed is very fast.
Okay.
It's not an issue right now. So,
Okay.
so we are tying up with a company known as Airtel. Airtel is one of the largest telecom providers over there, and they are managing the entire thing. So our most of this application for larger hospitals, we are going
Yeah.
to put it on the Airtel machines, which will be so that they can download freely. The advantage we also get is that for a larger hospital, because they move around with their cell phones and everything, so Airtel provides a hospital only telecom network. So like when they go to a hospital, they set up a LTE spot. So the whole hospital is covered by mobile. So then the laptops, whichever is covered by mobile over there, they will be able to access this.
Got it.
So, so
Is
it's
that is
not,
that a firm plan?
either,
This whole plan is firm.
yeah, this is a go to plan right now for large hospitals.
Have you guys tested it?
We have got one hospital now to test it.
And oh, you got them to accept it. Have
Yeah,
they
one
tested it?
hospital. No, not yet.
Okay, I
We are
recommend
going to do
you.
it after February.
Okay, so I recommend you do some testing here
Yeah,
because splitting the architecture between the app
it
server and
won't
the
be.
database,
It won't be a
we've
cloud
seen
for them.
issues.
No, it won't be a cloud for them.
It won't be a cloud at all.
No.
It'll be all on premise.
All on premise.
Okay. That's
Cloud
good.
is only for less than 100 hospitals.
So that would be a different kind of partnership contract.
That's not even Oracle first, right? It's still MySQL.
Right now, we are going between MariaDB. MariaDB is one of the competitors of MySQL.
Yes.
We are going between MariaDB and MySQL. Either of those two.
Why choose one? Why not choose one? Why not choose Oracle?
No, we didn't make any decisions.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't. We are trying with everybody. Like we are trying with. We just want to get the best architect. I like this idea. It's very good.
Yeah, this is built for especially for SaaS companies.
Correct.
So if
Right.
you're going this thing, you can scale and you have common services are one, and you just put more pluggable database customer.
Correct.
And you have to price as for India. India, the volume is big.
Price he will take care.
Yeah, he'll do. Yeah.
But no,
But just no, but just a second. This is even cheaper than having one database each because think about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
This is
You
very,
have one content. You have one container, and then you can add. What was announced yesterday? How many can you add to on one?
Yeah,
4,000.
4,000, I think,
4,000
different database.
right?
So
So it's flexible. Like you can separate it all different VMs. You can put it in the same database container. You can put it in the same schema in the database. You can put them in the same table like we designed it. But you can pick and choose depending on the regulation that you end up facing with a particular customer and say, and for your guys, you obviously want to maximize your margins, right? So you start off saying, can I share more? And if the answer is no, then you split them up further, right? And you can, the architecture is the same. The database, the code doesn't change, right?
no, this is a good architecture. This is how